Okay, so welcome all of you. In today's session, we are going to see the errors and error handling that is a exception handling in Python. So let's start with the errors in Python. Let's understand what are the important errors, okay, that are most frequently occurring in Python, and then we'll see how to handle the exceptions. So first, a very common error is syntax error in Python. Okay, that occurs due to incorrect syntax. Okay, when the syntax is wrong, when you enter a wrong syntax, you get a syntax error. Okay, and the example you can see what is wrong in this. What is wrong in this statement?
Bracket not complete.
Bracket is not completed. Okay, whatever is open, it is not completed. If I execute this, I'm getting a syntax error, incomplete input. Okay, so the error type is syntax error, and this is the description of the error. Okay, so it is also pointing where exactly it is wrong. Okay, so it is pointing here, that means the bracket is not incomplete input. Okay, so this one is syntax error. So similarly, there are various types of like various occasions where you can get syntax error. Okay, so whenever syntax is wrong, whenever there is some missing thing in the code, then it will give a syntax error. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
Next one is name error. Okay, name error occurs when the object is not defined. Okay, for example, here it will give me name error because I have not defined the variable a. Okay, I'm trying to print this variable a, but I have not defined it. So if it is not defined, it will certainly give a error. Okay, that is name error. So name error, whenever it gives name error, what is the intuition behind that? That the variable is not defined, the object is not defined. I'll execute this and say it is giving name error. Name A is not defined. Understood?
Yes.
Okay, then next is type error. Okay, when the operation, whatever operation we are performing in Python, that operation cannot be performed due to different data types or unsupported data types rather. At that time, it will return a type error. Okay, for example, this case. Now here you can see 10 is integer and hello is a string. So we know that we cannot perform any mathematical operation in between string and integer. Okay, for example, this addition cannot be performed in between the integer and string. Okay, so it will give me a type error. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then next is index error. Okay, index error. Python returns an index error when the index of any iterable is out of range. Okay, for example, I have taken here a list which contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements, and I am trying to get 10th index element. Okay, now if the index is 5, okay, the length of the list is 5, but I'm trying to get 10th element, so it will certainly give a index error. Okay, the element that you are trying to get is higher as compared to the length of the iterable. I'll execute this and see, you can see index error. List index is out of range. Understood? Index error.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then next is value error or key error. Okay, so this error particularly comes in case of dictionaries. Okay, we know that keys and values are used in dictionaries. Okay, so this is the error that is particularly, it happens in the case of dictionaries. So if the key is invalid, it gives the key error. If the value is invalid, it gives the value error. Okay, so for example, I have taken a dictionary dict1. I have the key as A and B, and I have the values as 1 and 2. And here what I am trying to do is I am trying to pop a key which is not present in the dictionary. Okay, for example, this C is not present in the dictionary, we know that. Okay, so in this case it will certainly give me a key error. Okay, if I execute this, you can see here, this is key error. Understood? Key error. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and another similar type of error is value error. Now here you can see I have another dictionary which has key A and B and values as triple A and triple B. Okay, and what I'm trying is I'm iterating over the values. Okay, that means AAA and BBB. These are the two elements I'm trying to iterate over it. So value of I will basically be the um, key in this case. Sorry, value in this case. Okay, AAA and BBB. And what I'm trying here is I'm trying to convert this element dict2 of A. That means this element AAA into integer. Okay, and then trying to print it. Now we know that we cannot convert that into integer. You can see here invalid literal for integer with base 10. Okay, so this is a value error. Okay, that value cannot be converted into integer because it is a string. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Then attribute error. There is an attribute error which you get in case there is no such method. Okay, for example, take an example. List underscore 1 dot, and let's take an example of join. So you can see this is an attribute error. Now we know that list does not have a join method. Join नावाचा function आहे का list मध्ये? नाही. Okay, so it gives an attribute error. Okay, that list object has no attribute join. Okay, so attribute error means when a particular attribute or when a particular object does not have the attribute specified. Okay, for example, here the list does not have join attribute. Okay, attribute here means method. Okay, or function. Okay, or it can be a variable also. Understood?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Then there is indentation error. We know that's indentation error. When the indentation is not uniform throughout the block of code, we get indentation error. Okay, improper indentation. For example, here the print is here, and the second print in the same block of code is not in line. Okay, it is not uniform. So this will give an indentation error. Okay, it is saying that this print is not in line. Understood? Indentation error.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we also have zero division error. Okay, the name itself says zero division error means what? Whenever you try to divide any number by zero, then you'll get a zero division error. Okay, so for example, here you can see I'm trying to divide 1 by 0. Okay, so this is not possible. 1 cannot be divided by 0. It gives you infinity, but Python does not have any particular number as infinity. Okay, so it will return a zero division error. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, just a second. Then similarly, there are other errors. For example, this runtime error, when we try to get next value after stop iteration. Okay, we get a runtime error. Then EOF error. Okay, EOF error is basically end of file error. Okay, end of file error raised when the input function hits the end of file condition. Okay, then floating point error, import error, when the module could not be imported. Okay, for example, this example I can show you. Now I don't have a module called as TensorFlow. I'll try to import it. You can see here. Sorry, this is module not found error. Module could not be import error is basically when the module could not be imported. Now this is a very specific condition basically uh, when there is error while importing the module. Okay, you have the module, but the error is basically while importing the module. So at that point of time you can get this import error. So right now I don't have any module which is let's say uh, which has some issues while installation. Okay, or while importing. So I cannot show you the example right now, but you can understand that import error is when a particular module is not could not be imported. Okay, successfully import होत नाही module, त्यावेळेस हा import error येऊ शकतो. Then module not found error, you can get this error when a module is not found. Okay, for example, this NUMM. Now here please note that I have inserted two M's. Okay, there is no such module as NUMMPY. Okay, so in that case it can give me a module not found error because there is no such module. Even if I try to install or if I try to import a module which is not installed, then also I can get the same error like I got before. Okay, when I tried for TensorFlow, import TensorFlow, you can see here. Okay, TensorFlow is also not installed, so I can get this error. So this is due to when the module name is incorrect, and this is when the module is not installed. Okay, understood?
Yes.
Then keyboard interrupt. Okay, when the execution is interrupted through the keyboard, like delete, or when you try to cut a particular cell, okay, or whenever you stop the kernel at that point of time, you get the keyboard interrupt. Okay, समजा मी खूप मोठं एक्झिक्युशन घेतलंय, okay, the code is executing, it is taking some time, okay, and suddenly in between what I try to do, I interrupt the kernel, okay, I stop the kernel, okay, or I try to delete the cell, so I can get a keyboard interrupt error. Okay, similarly there is memory error when the operation runs out of memory. Okay, there is a large operation, huge operation, and your memory is not sufficient to run the operation, you can get the memory error. Okay, these are very specific errors, we cannot uh, see it practically here. And OS error is also there, when system operation causes the system related error. Okay, when the operating system basically has some issues, at that point of time you can get this OS error. Okay, so this was about some of the important errors in Python. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's understand what is basically exception handling. Okay, so we have seen errors and exceptions. Okay, errors are basically exceptions. Okay, so now we are going to see what are the different or why we need the exception handling. Okay, so here I am taking a code, okay, for I in range, so that means my value of I will be 0 to 4. Okay, there will be 5 iterations from 0 to 4, and I am printing I. Okay, also I am printing j, and then there is another statement. Okay, it may be a print statement or it may be another block of code, so I've just written some more coding, and at last I've written completed. Okay, so basically where is the point where I can get error? Okay, in this code, do you find any point where I can get error? Yes? Yes? Can you point out where can I get error in this block? Okay, fine. So I'm trying to print j, okay, which I have not defined. Okay, j I have not defined because I am in this loop. I'm just using I. I'm just printing I. Okay, and I'm trying to print j also. Okay, so in this case I can get error. Okay, I can get a name error. Okay, because j variable is not present. I is the variable, temporary variable, which we have in this for loop. Okay, so here possibly I can get error. Okay, and when I will get this error, okay, at that point of time my program execution will stop. Okay, although I have some more coding or I have some other statements to be executed, I have some other code to be executed, but due to this statement I may get an error and my whole program execution may stop. Okay, so to avoid this we are basically using exception handling. You can see here. Okay, so just 0 is printed, and after printing 0 it went to printing j, but j is not defined, so I got a name error in this case. Okay, and you can see after this there is no print some more coding, no print completed. Okay, so basically my program execution stopped here itself at the first iteration. Okay, and due to this I couldn't execute the other piece of code. Got it?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, so that's why we need exception handling. Okay, so basically let us define what are exceptions. So what are exceptions? Exceptions are basically errors. Okay, or we can say exception are not the errors, but um, whatever error is raised when the uh, program is trying to execute. Okay, there are error in the code, but exception tries to raise that error. Okay, when the program is correct but there is error in the code. Okay, so this error uh, basically should not stop the execution of other code. ओके, त्या एका एरर मुळे तुमचा बाकीच्या कोडचं एक्झिक्युशन स्टॉप होता कामा नये. ओके, सो फॉर दिस पर्पज वी नीड exceptions. Okay, so basically I'll write here, exceptions are raised when the program is syntactically correct. Syntactically correct means the syntax is correct, syntax of the program is correct. Okay, so syntactically correct, but the code has error and this error does not stop the execution of the program. Okay, so this error does not stop the execution of the program, but what it does, it changes the normal flow of the program. Okay, normal flow means what? The error part will be skipped for a while. Okay, so it changes the normal flow. So error part will be skipped for a while, the remaining program will be executed and the error part will be just skipped. So this is not a normal flow. Okay, so what it tries, it does not stop the execution of the program, but it changes the normal flow of the program. Okay, now catching the exceptions with try and except block. Okay, basically say catching the exceptions with try and except block. Okay, so how to catch these exceptions using the try and except block? So there are some points that you must remember. Okay, what are the points? The suspected error part must be put under try block. Okay, try and except block is very similar to if else block. Okay, जसं if else आहे तसं तुमचं try and except आहे. Okay, so basically you are trying to run a particular block of code, and if that does not run, That means if there is an exception, then you will run the except block. Okay, so basically the suspected part should be put under try block. Okay, this is a instruction which is important. Suspected error part means जिथं तुम्हाला वाटतंय की इथे एरर येऊ शकतो त्या कोड मध्ये, तेवढा जो ब्लॉक आहे तो ब्लॉक तुम्ही ट्राय च्या अंडर पुट करायचा. Okay, and the remaining part, or let's say if you the exception basically should be put under except block. Okay, or you can print whatever if you want to print under the except block. Okay, basically the exception message is printed under except block, but you can also print other statements if you want. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Error printing is done under except block. Okay, so error or the exception that is raised is under except block. If the error occurs while execution of try block, the control of program is transferred to the except block. Very similar to if else. Okay, try मध्ये error आला की control कुठे जाणार, except block कडे. Okay, error आला आहे तो काय करतो, error ला skip करण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो. Okay, it will skip that part whichever has the error, and it will directly come to the except block. Okay, and we will not get any error, or the program execution will not stop due to the error. Understood?
Yes, sir.
And we can write multiple except blocks, but only one try block. Okay, एकच try block, पण except block मात्र multiple असू शकतात. Okay, आता वरचा जो कोड आहे मी तुम्हाला जो दाखवला, okay, the same code we will try to put under try and except block, and we will see what is the difference. Okay, now you can see here, this is my try block. Okay, semicolon, and I have put this code here under try block. Okay, for I in range, print I, print j. Now I know, or I suspect that there might be an error in this statement. मला असं वाटतंय की या स्टेटमेंट मध्ये एरर येऊ शकतो, म्हणून मी काय केलंय, तेवढा जो ब्लॉक आहे हा ट्रायच्या अंडर पुट केलाय. ओके, and under the except block, okay, I am just printing some error occurred. Okay, तुम्ही exception चा मेसेज पण इथे प्रिंट करू शकता. Okay, but I am just for a trial I am printing some error occurred, and this is your remaining code. इथे फक्त मी प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट टाकलंय, पण इथे तुमचा दुसरा कोड असू शकतो. And if I execute this now, you can see here. Okay, इथे जरी एरर होता तरी पण तो एरर त्याने स्किप केलाय. Okay, so 0 is printed, and after that what it is printing, some error occurred. Okay, so इथे एरर आल्यामुळे त्याने काय केलं, ट्राय ब्लॉक स्किप केला आणि एक्सेप्ट कडे आला. Some error occurred, and then the remaining statements, print statements. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now here I have just printed this statement, some error occurred. What if you want to print the actual error? Okay, so if you want to print the actual error, just make one change under the except block. Put this error. Okay, for example, I know that there is name error in this case. आपण वरती बघितलं ना या प्रोग्राम मध्ये इथे name error होता. Okay, okay, so this is my exception, name error, and this is the description of that error, name j is not defined. Okay, so what I am trying here, under except block, I am printing the error message as E. Okay, name error as E, and I'm just printing that E. Okay, so that error message will be printed. Okay, and the remaining part will be executed as it is. Now if you check this, you can see here, okay, the error message is printed. Name J is not defined. This is the error message. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, you can do it for other errors also. Okay. For example, this is an example I have taken. A is a tuple. Okay, it contains 2, 3, 4, and I am trying to append 5 to tuple. Okay, so I may get an attribute error here. Now, why I may get an error? Can somebody tell what is wrong in this? Yes?
Print E.
नाही, print E कसा wrong असेल? Yes? Anybody else? Fine. Your tuple does not have append function. Okay, just revise tuple and list. Append is the function of list, and I'm trying to use it for a tuple. So that's why I may get an attribute error. Okay, if I execute this, you can see here attribute error. Tuple object has no attribute append, because append is a function of attribute of list. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So in this case, if I want to print that error, okay, just put the suspected part under try, okay, and under except block attribute error as E, okay, and just print the E. You'll get the attribute error printed. You can see here attribute error is printed. Tuple object has no attribute append, and execution is also completed. The remaining code is executed. Understood?
Yes,
Sir.
Then, as I said, we can have multiple except blocks. We can have multiple except blocks, but only one try block. And here you can see the example. Suspected part is put under try. I am having this except block, name error as E, print E, and I am having another except block, this one, other error occurred, or let's say you can also use another exception here, attribute error as E, print E, and we can also have multiple except blocks. And you can execute this, you can see. Okay, so this try block is skipped because it has error, and after that it has tried this except block, but there was no name error. Okay, there is no name error in this block of code. Okay, so this will not be executed, and then this except block here we have attribute error. Okay, so this part will be executed, print E, that means error message will be printed here. Tuple object has no attribute append, and then the last except block is also skipped. Okay, because out of multiple except blocks, only one except block will be printed. Okay, executed. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Then we also have try, except, else. Okay, we can use these three: try, except, else. Okay, so try block we know, the suspected part is put under try block. Okay, except block we know. Okay, so whatever is not executed, or what if there is error in the try block, then it comes to except block. Okay, and if we have else, in this case either of the two will be executed. Okay, either else part or except part. Okay, आता except part हा कधी एक्झिक्यूट होतो, ज्या वेळेस ट्राय मध्ये एरर असेल त्यावेळेस. ओके, पण ट्राय मध्ये एरर नसेल तर एक्सेप्ट एक्झिक्यूट होणार नाही, डायरेक्ट एल्स एक्झिक्यूट होईल. ओके, सो आयदर ट्राय and else or only except. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Now here in this case, okay, tell me whether there is any error in this try block. There is no error. Okay, there is a simple print statement. This is a try block. Okay, so in this case try block will not be executed. Okay, sorry, try block will be executed in this case. Okay, because there is no error. Okay, and when try is executed, except will not be executed. Okay, and directly else will be executed. Here it is. This is a try block. Okay, so try block is executed, and this is else block. So else block is executed. Except is not executed. Understood?
Yes, sir.
And in this part, now here if you check under try block, I have purposefully entered a wrong spelling of this print statement. Okay, PRINNT, so that I may get an error. Now if I will get error under this block, that means try will not be executed, and if try is not executed, automatically except block will be executed. Okay, and else will not be executed. If you check, you'll see only except block is executed. Understood?
Yes.
So either try and else is executed and except is not executed, or only except is executed and try and else is not executed. I hope you got the point.
Yes.
Then there is also a finally statement in this. Okay, similar to else, but the difference is that finally it gets executed. Okay, remember, finally it is going to be executed whatever is the condition, whether there is error, whether there is no error, finally is going to be executed. Okay, error असला तरी execute होईल, error नसला तरी execute होईल. Okay, so either try and finally will be executed, or except and finally will be executed. Now here if you check, there is no error in try. Okay, so try will be executed. मग try execute झालाय तर except execute होणार नाही, and direct finally will be executed. Okay, so here try and finally will be executed. In this case, try block, finally block. And in another case, here there is error. Try block has an error. Okay, so try will not be executed, but except will be executed because try is not there. Except will be executed and finally will also be executed. So except and finally, these two are executed. Understood?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so whichever part in the code that you want to execute, no matter there is error or no error, that you can put under finally block. ज्या पार्ट मध्ये समजा एखाद्या पार्ट मध्ये एरर आहे की नाही यानी काहीच फरक पडत नाही तुम्हाला, तुमचा फायनल ब्लॉक तो एक्झिक्यूट करायचाच आहे, तो ब्लॉक ऑफ कोड तुम्ही फायनलीच्या अंडर टाकू शकता. Then how to raise a manual error message. Okay, how to raise a manual error message. Now we are familiar with the error messages like name error, okay, index error, attribute error, okay. But what if we want a manual error message? Okay, so in that case we can use a keyword named as raise keyword. Okay, raise is the keyword that can be used to raise a manual error message. How to do that? We'll see here. So for this raise, we need a module named as traceback. Okay, you have to import this module traceback. Okay, this is my code. I'm having x, I'm having y. X is integer, y is not an integer, and if what I'm trying here is, if the type of x is integer and type of y is integer, then addition of x and y. Okay, and print the addition. Else, if one of the two is not integer, then what will happen? Here I am raising this error message, okay, as type error, and I have changed the description, okay, because if you check the type error, okay, the description is unsupported operand, integer and string, something like that. Okay, so here you can see I have changed this message to either x or y. That means whatever the value of x or whatever the value of y will be there, that will be replaced by this. So either x or y is not an integer. Okay, and I can see the description in this case. Okay, there is a type error raised and the description is changed. Either 100 or 200 is not an integer. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly here. Okay. Same example, but just I have changed the message again. So integer x and string y cannot be added. This is the message here. You can see the message. Integer 100 and string 200 cannot be added. Okay. So customize error message can be put by using this traceback module and the raise keyword. Okay, here you can see. Now I had just tried this for type error. Here I am trying for name error. Okay, it will give me a name error. Okay, but this is not the right practice, because you know that this error is due to the data type. Okay, so it should be type error. But what I'm trying is, you can raise the error or you can classify it under whatever type of error you want to classify. तुम्हाला नेम एरर म्हणून डिस्प्ले करायचा आहे, टाइप एरर म्हणून डिस्प्ले करायचा आहे, सिंटॅक्स एरर, इंडेक्स एरर, कोणत्या एरर म्हणून डिस्प्ले करायचा आहे ते तुम्ही कस्टमाइज करू शकता आणि एरर मेसेज पण कस्टमाइज करू शकता. अंडरस्टूड?
Yes, sir.
सर रिअल टाइम मध्ये यूज होतं का पण नेम एरर, सॉरी रेज?
रिअल टाइम मध्ये इतका यूज नाही होत, पण जर तुम्हाला स्पेसिफिक असं काहीतरी मेसेज टाकायचा आहे तिथे तुम्ही यूज करू शकता. रिअल टाइम मध्ये इतका त्याचा यूज होत नाही किंवा आपण करत नाही. ओके, जे काही बिल्ट इन एरर मेसेजेस आहेत तेच जनरली आपण फॉलो करतो. ओके, बट तुम्हाला माहित पाहिजे असं पण आपण करू शकतो.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's all about errors and exception handling. Okay, the important part here is try and accept block. Okay, try accept else, try accept finally. These three things are very important, and the errors, the types of errors, those are very important. Okay, at least you should know the frequently occurring errors. Okay, name error, type error, syntax error, index error. Okay, module not found error. Okay, these errors you should be familiar with. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all for today. Thank you all of you.